Hi everyone! I got a new bow tie. Turns out that now it's a perfect time to buy bow ties. They're dirt cheap. You can imagine that's because no one's actually socializing. So get your masks on and buy bow ties. They're dirt cheap, and I found this gorgeous quinacridone violet. We've been trying to pronounce this color for a while, quinacridone. So quinacridones are a series of colors in the cool side, and violet, quinacridone violet, it's basically this. It's not alizarin crimson. Gosh, we need to practice pronunciation. But anyhow, so welcome everyone. Here we are, another week. Welcome to the Roofless Dog and Pony Show. My name is Julio, and I'm the Dream Alchemist at Roofless Painters. And thanks for already joining us. I'm going to be the host of this presentation. And I just wanted to say that the Roofless Dog and Pony Show is a non-scripted, content-rich presentation featuring the conceptual and stylistic inspiration behind our painting webinars. And the presentation includes contemporary art notes and art history references and a bit of commentary. So we're not grammatically perfect. We love making up new words, and we haven't triple fact-checked our sources. We'll leave that up to you. So let us know if you know something we don't know. So I think this is all. This is what it's all about, basically. So the way this is going to work, we are going to present a few slides. I think we're a little bit more prepared this time. Episode 3, so there's got to be some improvement, right? And then we'll leave the rest of the session for Q&A questions, anything that you want to ask us regarding the painting webinar or anything else, because there are generally a lot of questions that arise after we present the inspiration. So you'll be able to replay this in an Instagram post, and also you'll see the video in our YouTube channel. We have a YouTube channel, you guys, and it's getting some views, so who knew? After that, so what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to show you the first slide, and we'll get the presentation started. And so this is the cover of our webinar, In the Driver's Seat. So we were just thinking that this quarantine time is allowing us to reflect around not only our domestic spaces, but also about other spaces beyond our homes. And in LA, we're infamous for allegedly live in our cars. As we kind of like been looked down by the East Coast majorly for turning cars into our bubbles. Well, you know what? We're gonna own that stereotype, because right now our cars are our safety bubbles, and we find ourselves venturing out and feeling that our cars are our second homes because it's dangerous out there. So because of that, and because we love being outside, we thought it could be interesting to present the opportunity to create paintings in which the subject would be the view from inside a car. And that's the reason why we titled this webinar In the Driver's Seat. And so before I give examples and ideas of what you can do to have material for the session, I just wanted to bring first the photograph that I downloaded. This is by William Eggleston, a famous American photographer who's still alive. And this is, I was going to say Johnny Depp, but it's not Johnny Depp. I already forgot. I'll find out. Where is it? I have it here. Yeah, Dennis Hopper. 1970 through 1974. And I love this image. William Eggleston is famous for taking pictures of mundane objects, very Americana style, and also famous for turning color photography into high art, because before him and before Stephen Shore, color photography wasn't regarded as highbrow, but they turn things around. So I love this image because it explains, or it's a very good visual example of the subject for a painting, a photograph or an image taken from inside the car. And you can see here the landscape through the windshield, and you can see also something's going on the rear view mirror, which I love that game or playful conceptual game of looking forward and also looking back. So William Eggleston, one of the inspirations for this webinar, and I'm just going to give you two of the images that we brought in our sessions before, and I just find incredibly powerful. If I can find them. Yeah, this is another William Eggleston from that era, I guess. And it's not from inside the car, but I just love the fact that cars are subjects in his images. And so I'm just going to read a couple of excerpts from art critics that introduce his work in several books. For example, an art writer called Eudora Welty suggests that Eggleston sees the complexity and beauty of the mundane world, the extraordinary, compelling, honest, beautiful, and unsparing photographs all have to do with the quality of our lives in the ongoing world. They succeed in showing us the grain of the present, like the cross-section of a tree. They focus on the mundane world, but no subject is fuller of implications than the mundane world. So I love this dissection of his work, because mundane doesn't equal to boring. And I just feel like I've taken already a few photographs through the windshield, and at first the cityscape, it's not that exciting compared to this botanical exuberant ideas of what a landscape should look like. But there's complexity, and there is compelling, honest, beautiful concept behind. So I love that. And then I'm just going to move. I brought Stephen Shore photograph. He's also still alive, contemporary American photographer, and also interested in images of our contemporary mundane life. This is another image from inside of a car, and I don't have the details of the image, but I love the fact that it's a cityscape, as a landscape, and you can see the windshield, and you can see the rear view mirror as well. So let me see if I have information about this. Stephen Shore, American photographer, known for his images of banal scenes and objects in the United States, and for his pioneering use of color in art photography. So they're both credited for elevating color photography to high art. So just going to move to another photographic reference, because this one we actually did something we worked with before. So for whatever reason, I just download the images, but they're not showing up. They're not all here. So I don't know why they're not all here. Anyhow, so I'll just have to mention it and then I'll just post it so you guys have a reference. And this is Andrew Bush. Andrew Bush is a contemporary photographer as well, and he was famous in the 80s for taking pictures in LA of other people driving side by side. He would set up his camera basically on the passenger seat in a tripod, and the camera would point out through the window outside, and then he would have the shutter, I guess. He would drive on the freeway and streets, and when he would pass by another car, right the moment where he would see the other person through the window, he would take a snapshot. The images are incredible, hilarious, and very interesting. So yeah, using a medium format camera on a tripod, both placed in the passenger seat, and a strobe light for a flash. I wonder what the other people did when they saw him taking pictures. Andrew Bush, he titled each picture almost like an entry journal. He mentioned the day, the location, the time, and what the person was basically doing, I guess, or if the person was doing something in the car. So William Eggleston, Stephen Shore, Andrew Bush, those are our references for streetscapes from the point of view of inside of a car. And I do have a couple of examples here. There's this artist from California, Harry Stushinoff, and he paints plein air from inside his car, and I love his work, and I just wanted to share a picture of his setup inside of the car. We're inviting everyone. All right, well, sorry for the pause. We had technical difficulties. Everyone's streaming live, I guess, and our connections are not very good. I was talking about Harry Stushinoff and how he does plein air from inside of the car. So the advantage of this assignment is that we're inviting you to park your car. Don't take pictures while you drive, because this is not the 1970s Los Angeles. And even though this could have been a great opportunity to do at the beginning of the quarantine, you guys, there's tons of traffic out there, almost as if nothing ever happened. So don't take a picture while you drive. So you're more than welcome to park in front of a building that you always wanted to paint and take a picture through the window or the windshield. So I'll give you more examples, but before I do that, I just wanted to find out if I have any other slides that are showing up in my feed. So, and then there is this one. I'm gonna bring two paintings, because paintings of views from inside of a car are not super popular, which I love. And so there's this contemporary artist. His name is Charles Beck, and it's not his favorite subject matter, but he loves using cars as subjects. But I found this image that merges the contemporary with the classic. This is an example. Maybe what's showing up in your rear view mirror doesn't have to be literal. So there you go, another idea. And another contemporary artist that I found is, I forgot his name, but let me see if I can find him. Actually, this is actually Charles Beck, and the one before was Andrew Jackson. So Andrew Jackson, Charles Beck, and he also created a view from the windshield and a self-portrait with the rear view mirror with another landscape. So I experimented with my phone inside of the car, and I realized that this is not as easy as it sounds. because there's so much light outside that when you take a picture, the reflection on the rear view mirror is dark, so you cannot really see anything. So we are basically suggesting you to take a picture that shows a part of the car. It's not just the view from the car. We encourage you to consider the car as part of the subject in the painting. So a frame, something that you could recognize as part of the car. If you take a picture from the driver's seat looking out, maybe the window could be halfway down. You could still see the frame. So take a few shots because you'll have to really study the situation. It's not as easy as other webinars where, for example, when we did the self-portrait wearing a mask, it just took me a couple of photos. But with this, I really had to study. And it was really interesting to explore the possibilities. What I love about this painting is that the image on the mirror, it's really close. So if you want to take something like that, get really close to the mirror. You'll get a better idea of what's in the mirror. If you have been quarantined with another human body and you are in good terms after 5 months with them, maybe it wouldn't be a bad idea to ask them to jump into the car and ask them to take a picture of you through the mirror. Because if you try to do it with your phone will be covering your face. So another opportunity to perhaps socialize with your partners in quarantine in a different space that it's not the house. I'm still studying my final view, but again, to recap, what I wanted to have is part of the car showing, the frame of the car. And I love the idea of having something reflecting an image that it's in the back. It doesn't have to be that, but I think it's really playful and interesting. And I've seen some photographs of people doing that on social media, but no paintings. So you could use the rear view mirror from the side. That's a much better option because what you will get is a view of the outside. And because of the light being so bright, you will get also a view from the reflection from whatever's behind you. So because it's LA and it's super wide and vast, don't expect this to be a very bucolic, picturesque, postcard-like image. It's going to be rough, concrete, and ugly buildings galore. So I think that's the reason why I brought up that paragraph written, because it's important to support our selection of images with something that goes deep conceptually. And but yeah, so we have one day before the live session, and maybe this could be a great opportunity to get in the car and drive around and see what you can get with your phones. And if you feel adventurous and you have great connection, maybe you can join us via Zoom from inside of the car. Who knows? We have to try that. So after my presentation, this concludes the mini lecture. I hope it was intelligible and useful and productive. But we have a few crickets watching us live. You guys get 50 points each for doing that. So if you have any questions about the webinar, any ideas, any comments, here we are, any doubts, any questions about the webinar, let us know. we'll just wait a couple of minutes. But you can also leave the comments and notes when you watch this after. And I think that's all. I need to find out why some images are not showing up in my live presentation. But yeah, we'll post Andrew Jackson photographs as well. You don't have to have all the right materials. If you're watching and you're wondering what the hell is going on here, you can just use, if you have an iPad and you're familiar with the software, we like brushes and sketchbook as software to paint, but yeah, you don't have to have all the materials and you don't have to have experience. So it's a lot of fun, and we're a neat group of people, and we're very supportive. Julie, you are the best. Thanks for watching. And I think it's going to be different. This is going to be our 16th painting webinar, you guys. 16 weeks that we have been in quarantine ever since the mayor of LA called for city-wide lockdown. We are on the verge of getting locked down again, so there's no end in sight in regards of when we'll be able to paint in our element, which is outdoors. And we can do that individually, but there's something about painting in a group that's really exciting, and we are not allowed to gather outside unless it is from with people in the same household. So maybe there's an idea there. We can just all go live together temporarily and then spend a couple of weeks and then just go out everywhere. But it's coming. We're hopeful, maybe August, maybe September. Yes, Julie, we are too. Yeah, we're excited. Thank you. And just as a final note before we turn the Instagram off, whatever the term is, a couple of things. We have so much work that we've done that we thought it would be interesting to incorporate open studio sessions to continue working on paintings that we are piling up and are not complete. So maybe that's something that we could add in addition to the painting webinars. Let us know what you think. And the second thing is that we started getting creative and resourceful, I guess, but mostly creative. And we are now launching a line of t-shirts. Our first one is for sale in our store. We kind of like revamping our store and adding some merchandise because yes, we have to. And so check it out, give it a look. They're very cool. We're gonna post one t-shirt a week, and your kind purchase will help us continue doing all we do. All right, so thanks again, and I'll see some of you tomorrow. And if you're watching this video not live, thanks for watching. Bye. And the bow tie has dinosaurs on it, so I love it.